Alright guys, this video is incredible. It's going to blow your mind. You're going to discover just how little doctors know about health and diet and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I want you to share this video as far and wide as you can, especially to those who think doctors are like infallible and they're the experts and they know better, and the guy down the pub having a few beers giving his opinion, he's a dumbass and he doesn't know anything. Well, I'm going to show you how these doctors, they don't know anything either. And I'm going to prove it with eggs. So yes, eggs, a beautiful food that comes from chickens that people all over the world consume. And the big debate as to whether eggs are good or bad for you. So let's begin with the American Heart Association. They have an article here, are eggs good for you or not? And this debate has been raging for decades. And note how they even have a disclaimer here. This article was published more than 2 years ago, so some information may be outdated. And this really sums up the whole problem. Opinions and facts seem to change over the years, and when it comes to eggs, it's just absolutely all over the place. So in these opening paragraphs, it talks about how eggs are full of protein and nutrition and vitamins and all this good stuff. But then it says here, egg yolks are also known for their cholesterol. A typical large egg contains 186 milligrams of cholesterol. Now remember this figure here, 186 milligrams of cholesterol for a large egg, because we're going to see figures that contradict this. So it's more than half of the amount previously recommended for daily consumption before federal dietary guidelines dropped the numerical goal in 2015, citing a lack of scientific evidence for a specific limit. So already we're seeing this jaw-dropping thing here where they had a limit of 300 milligrams. This was the recommended daily consumption of cholesterol. But because of lack of evidence, they actually dropped this recommendation. So that's kind of an aside to the whole egg debate, but it just goes to show you how these experts just don't know what they're talking about. We are probably more embracing of eggs within a heart-healthy dietary pattern than we were 20 years ago. But it's still a source of cholesterol. This Joanne Carson professor is saying that 20 years ago, the knives were out for the eggs, and not in a good way, because people were demonizing eggs, saying they're really bad for you. And I remember growing up as a kid hearing this, that if you eat more than 2 eggs a week, you're gonna like die of a heart attack, and all this scaremongering about eggs. So that's what she's referring to here about 20 years ago. And it went back even further than that, back in like the 1990s, 1980s. We were hearing all this stuff about how eggs are just full of cholesterol. Don't eat more than 2 a week, even though it has some good stuff. Eat it for the good stuff, but don't eat more than 2 a week. That's what we were told as kids. So here was a study a few years ago. The journal Heart found that an egg a day may just keep the doctor away. So in other words, eating 1 egg a day may be good for you. This 1 egg a day completely contradicts this whole 2 eggs a week from like 20, 30 years ago. And another study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that eating at least 12 eggs a week for 3 months did not increase cardiovascular risk factors for people with prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. So this is saying 12 eggs a week is fine. So almost 2 eggs a day is fine. Now, it was limited to 3 months, so you have to be careful here. So they obviously stopped the study after 3 months. But what happens after 3 months? What about 3 years or even 3 decades? Okay, so this is interesting. Eggs must be refrigerated. Now, this only applies to people in America, or maybe some other countries as well, I'm not familiar with, because in Europe, they don't recommend refrigerating eggs. Now, why is that? Why must we refrigerate eggs while Europe doesn't? We being Americans, I guess. The US mandates eggs be washed, not by consumers, but by the producers. An elaborate system has been set up to carefully wash and dry the eggs before they are packed and shipped off in refrigerated trucks to the supermarket. So in the US, the food authority, whatever, the FDA or whoever it is, they actually mandate washing eggs before they hit the stores for consumers. But in Europe, they don't do that. Now, a marvel of nature you need to know about is the protective coat each egg receives as a parting gift from the mother hen. The cuticle is like a wax job that helps protect an egg from harmful bacteria. Unfortunately, studies have shown that washing an egg may harm the cuticle or reduce its efficacy. So washing an egg, it has its advantages of washing away all the crap from the hen that might get on the egg and contaminate it. But eggs have a natural protective layer called the cuticle. And washing these, which they do in America, may damage the cuticle. But this guy, Garrison, does not concur. Now, who is Garrison? Garrison, he's the director of food safety at the United Egg Producers, representing 95% of America's egg producers. So this guy, he's biased towards the American system, and he's claiming washing eggs doesn't damage the cuticle, even though studies have shown that it may harm the cuticle. I mean, note the word here, may harm. So is it conclusive that washing eggs does actually harm the cuticle? We don't know, because it says it may harm. So you can just see here that it's just so much misinformation, so much garbage here, so many contradictions. Should you wash the eggs? Should you not wash the eggs? Europe says don't wash them. America says wash them. And the studies seem to be inconclusive. Now going back to the American Heart Association, they are suggesting 1 egg or 2 egg whites per day for people who eat them as part of a healthy diet. So they're saying 1 full egg or 2 egg whites. So it's the yolk of an egg that contains all the cholesterol. So the white of an egg doesn't contain the cholesterol, so that's why they're saying 2 egg whites are okay, but 1 whole egg with the egg yolk. So that is their conclusion right now. But of course they have the disclaimer saying this is more than 2 years ago, so what's their stance now? Is it the same? Has it changed? We don't know. So here's one from the BBC, the truth about eating eggs. If there was such a thing as a perfect food, eggs would be a contender. They're readily available, easy to cook, affordable, and packed with protein. These few paragraphs here are absolutely mind-blowing. There are systems in place so that for most people, dietary cholesterol isn't a problem. So this is Elizabeth Johnson. She's an associate professor at Tufts University in Boston. In a 2015 review of 40 studies, Johnson and a team of researchers couldn't find any conclusive evidence on the relationship between dietary cholesterol and heart disease. So she says humans have good regulation when consuming dietary cholesterol and will make less cholesterol themselves. So this is absolutely mind-blowing. If this is true, what she's saying is that the amount of cholesterol you consume in your diet doesn't matter because your body can regulate the cholesterol. So in other words, if you consume a lot of cholesterol through eggs and other food with high cholesterol, your body can regulate that. So this is absolutely mind-blowing because this would destroy any argument that foods with high cholesterol are bad for you. Now it does say most people, so there's the kind of the loophole or disclaimer there that maybe for some people with issues absorbing cholesterol and so on, maybe for them it's a problem, but for most people, the vast majority of healthy people, these paragraphs are saying that it doesn't matter how much cholesterol you consume. So this is absolutely mind-blowing stuff. And this leads nicely to this article, because this article is saying eggs are bad for you. Why are eggs bad for you and why should you not eat them? So this is written by Michael Greger. He's an MD, so he's a doctor, and he founded this website, nutritionfacts.org. Now he's saying a single egg has 207 milligrams of cholesterol on average. So do you remember the figure we had earlier? It was 186 milligrams of cholesterol from a typical large egg. So this is saying it's 186 in a large egg, and this guy is saying it's 207 on average. So these numbers are totally contradicting each other. So if it's on average, a large egg would have more than 207. So we could be talking maybe 220, 250 maybe. But according to this, a typical large egg is only 186. So we can see yet again the contradictions here from these so-called experts. And this guy is saying that blood cholesterol shoots up when you eat eggs. Now this is probably true. I mean, it makes sense that your cholesterol will shoot up when you eat eggs, but these paragraphs here are claiming that it doesn't really matter because your body can easily regulate this. So your body gets like this shot of cholesterol into its blood through eating eggs, but your body will regulate this. So it'll get rid of cholesterol it doesn't need. So it doesn't matter if blood cholesterol shoots up after eating eggs. Now look what he says about diabetes. Eating just a single egg a week appeared to increase the odds of diabetes by 76%. Just 1 a week. 2 eggs a week appeared to double the odds, and just a single egg a day tripled the odds. So he's saying like eating 1 egg a day is a disaster. Eating 1 egg a day or more appears to shorten anyone's lifespan. And he's saying it can cause cancer. Egg consumption has been associated with some cancers. Now, what's the evidence for this? Who knows? Food poisoning, salmonella outbreaks. So yes, this is an issue, salmonella. And some people can get very sick from salmonella. So food poisoning is definitely an issue. I mean, that goes with all foods. But eggs are particularly prone to salmonella. So that's a fair point. But again, when you're talking about heart disease and stuff, salmonella is not an issue. But he's saying diabetes, cancer. Here he is, Michael Greger. He's a physician and best-selling author. He's appeared on the Dr. Oz Show, Colbert Report, Oprah Winfrey. So he's like one of these celebrity doctors. I mean, can you trust this guy? Who knows? But he's saying eggs are terrible. Don't eat them. It increases your odds of diabetes by 76%. Just 1 egg a week. Unbelievable. So it totally contradicts what Elizabeth Johnson was saying. Now here's an article from the Mayo Clinic. Is it healthy to eat eggs every day? So here we have another figure, 210 milligrams of cholesterol. So again, we have a different figure. Now it's similar to this guy's figure of 207. Most healthy people can eat up to 7 eggs a week without affecting their heart health. So look at this, 7 eggs a week. So this one kind of agrees with the American Heart Association. 1 egg a day is fine, or 7 a week. And here's one from Harvard. A new study suggests that regularly eating eggs can increase the risk of early death, but some experts are skeptical about the findings. So here we go. So here's a study saying eggs are bad, basically. And then other experts are saying, well, we don't agree with this. So Walter Willett, he's a professor of epidemiology in Harvard. So he's one of the skeptics. And he co-authored a study that found that eating 1 egg per day did not increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. And so he commented on this other study, and he said, the study results are problematic because they only asked people once about their egg consumption, then followed them for many years without checking to see if their diet had changed. They're only getting a snapshot in time. So this study sounds like total garbage. They only ask people once, and then they conduct a study for years, and then they do tests on these people to see who's getting heart disease and so on. But they didn't ask them, like, has your diet changed? I mean, it would seem like a no-brainer to ask people how their diet has changed over the years if they're studying them for years. I mean, it's incredible how dumb some of these studies are, and how you cannot trust these studies. And this is where it gets really weird. So this Willett guy who came up with the study that said 1 egg a day is okay, he says, I think the old recommendation of not more than 2 eggs per week for most people is actually still a good recommendation. So this guy is almost contradicting his own study by saying that 2 a week should be enough. Don't eat more than 2 a week. Going back to the old scaremongering situation, when his own study said that eating 7 a week or 1 a day seems to be fine. And here's another one from the Mayo Clinic. Eggs, are they good or bad for my cholesterol? And it's saying here, most healthy people can eat up to 7 eggs a week without increasing the risk of heart disease. So again, this seems to be the prevailing theory now, that 1 egg a day or 7 a week seems to be okay. But it says here, if you have diabetes, some research suggests that eating 7 eggs a week increases heart disease risk. However, other research failed to find the same connection. So here we go, and this 2 sentences. Some research says it increases heart disease, and other research says it doesn't. So which research are you going to believe? The research that says it does, or the research that says it doesn't cause heart disease? Who are these people? Who are these experts? Like, what studies are they doing? What is the methodology for these studies? Like, we just saw that study where they asked the people once, years ago, about how many eggs they eat, and then they don't follow up. And here's Time magazine, eggs may be bad for the heart. A new study says, but there's more to the story. And when it comes to eggs, there's always more to the story. Conclusions about eggs based on available scientific evidence vary widely. And we've just seen that, guys. We've seen how the experts totally contradict each other. And some are saying, that you could eat up to 12 eggs a week. We saw in one study, 12 eggs a week. And others saying, do not eat any egg at all. Others saying 2 a week. And nutrition research is notoriously hard to conduct accurately. So, I mean, that is true. It is hard to conduct accurate studies in this. But still, I mean, you've got one food source, eggs, and we see so much controversy over it, so much disagreement. It's amazing. One study from last year found that people who ate an egg a day had lower rates of heart disease and bleeding stroke than people who did not eat them. So this is suggesting that not eating eggs at all is actually worse for your heart than eating like 1 egg a day. So this totally contradicts this guy here, Michael Greger, who's saying like even eating 1 egg a week is bad for you. These studies are saying that eating 7 eggs a week is better for your heart than not eating eggs at all. And this guy is like a total scaremonger with eggs, saying they're terrible for you and don't eat any eggs, period. So guys, I hope I've convinced you that doctors and scientists and nutritionists have no idea what they're talking about. They can't even agree on one food source, eggs, let alone like thousands and thousands of food sources out there. Are they good for you? Are they bad for you? Both sides of the argument cannot be right. Now, it is nuanced and stuff, and some people point that out. It depends on how you cook the egg and so on. That's a factor as well. But when you have this guy saying do not eat any eggs, period, like no matter how you make them, fried or boiled or whatever, and then you have the American Heart Association suggesting 1 egg a day is fine. And then you have this guy saying that 2 eggs a week would be his recommendation. I mean, you have 3 different things right there. No eggs, 2 eggs a week, or 7 eggs a week. I mean, which is it? None of those can all be right. Only one can be right, and maybe all of them are wrong. Maybe you can eat 100 eggs a week. This Elizabeth Johnson seems to be suggesting that you could eat pretty much as many eggs as you want because your body can regulate the cholesterol. So we have 4 different opinions here. We have no eggs at all, 2 eggs a week, 7 eggs a week, or basically eat as many as you want. Unbelievable, guys. And these are all so-called experts. These are all scientists, they're doctors. We're hearing like at least 4 different stories here. Please share this video as far and wide as you can. This is really important because these guys are being held up as experts. They're know-it-alls. They know everything. They know more than you. They're smarter than you. And yet they cannot agree on eggs. So like, share, subscribe, comment. See you guys later.